What is going on, guys? It's the Variety Film Brothers. I'm Andrew.
I'm Thomas.
And in today's video, we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, the first Mandalorian episode in, over 2 years now?
Yep.
Since Season 2. I mean, if you don't count those 2 Book of Boba Fett episodes that were basically Mandalorian episodes.
Yeah.
But they were also the best episodes of the show, so... but we'll talk about that another day. So this episode was very short, and I knew that going into it because I am terrible at staying away from spoilers. It was, maybe like 30, 32 minutes? Yeah. And, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I was honestly expecting more. In my opinion, the first episode of any season, any show, should be the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not really, a rule or anything, but in my opinion, if you're trying to sell someone on a show, make the first one the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this one, you could definitely tell, they're planning things. They have things that they're setting up. But, this episode itself, I don't think was that entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts off with this ritual of this kid becoming a Mandalorian. I'm really stupid. I thought that was, baby preteen Din Djarin, which would have been cool, because the only flashback we've had for Din is that very small scene where he gets rescued by Mandalorians from the battle droids in the Clone Wars, which was, one of my favorite scenes from the whole show. So I think we should see more baby Din Djarin, but that's just me. But it's not baby Din Djarin, and the group gets attacked by this giant alligator, which I was not very impressed with. I just think you could have made that something cooler. I don't know. It literally just looks like a really big alligator to me. It literally... it's a nitpick. Move on, Andrew. And so, Din comes in and starts shooting it with his ship and all that. And for some reason, the Mandalorians in this cult, in this group, are really stupid. They should have just run away. They lost, at least a few people, and they were like, no, we can take it. And...
with our flamethrowers.
Yeah, it's like, no, you can't. But anyway, so, and then Din talks to the armorer. I still love that helmet, by the way, that awesome gold helmet with the horns. It's so cool. I don't care if that character's a woman. I might cosplay that character at some point. It's so cool, man. But anyway, so he talks to her. They basically have the same conversation that they did before, where he has to go to the waters of Mandalore or something. I already forgot what it's called. But she says they don't exist. They were destroyed in the bombings or whatever. And so he's like, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm like, we already had this conversation. I don't know. Not a big deal. I get a lot of people probably didn't watch those 2 Book of Boba Fett episodes because they didn't think the Mandalorian was going to be in it. And they were wrong. Mm-hmm. But, so I don't really know how he's going to go about, bringing back proof that it's still there or that he did it. Because, really what I would probably do is I would just go to Camino and stand out in the rain and then walk back and be like, see, I'm wet. I took the bath. That's what I would do. But, and then that's where the episode starts to lose me after that, is we don't immediately get on that. Mm-hmm. We go back to Navarro and check up on things on Navarro, and I get it. It's, people that Mando cares about, and he's, checking up on them and all that, and, he's got other things to do, but it's this really... I thought this was a real priority for him, you know what I mean? I thought he would go and get this done right now, or at least try to. But he's like, no, we'll stop at a few different places first, because then he goes to Navarro, and they have that little showdown with the pirates, which was fine. It's fine. I can't say I was, particularly entertained, but it's fine. And then, what even happens after that? I'm already forgetting. And then he goes to see Bo-Katan, and she is very mad at him, reasonably. I mean, not reasonably at the same time, because he has the Darksaber, and she wants the Darksaber, but she's too scared to actually, fight him for it.
Yeah.
See, it's another thing that I think is really funny is that we've actually talked about this several times, how cultish Mando's group of Mandalorians are. They're weird. I know it makes for entertaining TV, but, if you were a part of this cult, I would get out. I would recommend getting out. But she believes stuff that's just as stupid. She's like, I can't lead the Mandalorians into battle to take back our planet. I don't have the sword.
Yeah.
And it's do you not realize, how stupid you are? I'm not saying, there's no validity to what she's saying because it has been like shown to, but it's kind of just one of those like superstitious things. You know what I mean? Where like if you're just focused on the stuff that's like not right or bad, then that's gonna happen because that's the only place where your mindset is. Like it's kind of like a confidence is key thing. Like it's cringy, but like you don't need one sword to win a whole battle, even if it is a lightsaber practically.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's kind of funny that she doesn't realize her own like hypocrisy there, but it doesn't really make for a super interesting scene. I thought she was just gonna straight up try to kill him.
Yeah.
I think she should. I don't think she has any reason not to, really. I feel like in her head she thinks that she could win, and I'm not saying she couldn't. I honestly don't know who would win out of the two. I mean, I don't think Grogu would let Bo-Katan kill him, but I really don't know. But no, they just talk, and she throws a lot of attitude at him, and I'm just like, are we gonna see something happen? But we don't.
Nope.
And then I think it's after that Mando actually decides to do the thing that he was gonna do at the beginning of the episode. Like, am I right?
Yeah.
After this, he's decided to go take the bath.
And that's when it cuts off. And then
Yeah, and they have the fight with the pirates first in the asteroid field. And like, how many times can we do the same stupid scene? You know, like we did it in Empire Strikes Back, we did it in Attack of the Clones, and we're doing it again here, and it's all the same to me. Like, you can complain, like, I know they're not all exactly the same, obviously. Like, the one in Attack of the Clones, I think is particularly slow. The one in Empire Strikes Back, I don't actually think is that great visually, but I haven't rewatched Episode 5 in a while. That's going to be one of our videos that we're doing before too long, after we wrap up with some more Marvel stuff. But I just don't think they're all that people crack them up to be, asteroid field scenes. I'd much rather see Din like cutting up some people with the Darksaber like he did in the Book of Boba Fett when he went into the like a meat butcher factory or whatever and just cut the hell out of people. That was awesome. Something about ship battles, unless they're like the bigger scale ones, like the 1v1, or I guess in this case it's like a 1v5. It just didn't really do it for me. I don't know. I guess it's because there are, like I said, I didn't feel like Mando was really like
in danger.
Well, that, but also he's not, what is the word for this? He hasn't, like, he has these, like, order of things that he wants to do that he's prioritized, but he's not doing them in that order.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to be super, like, entertained when I'm like, shouldn't we be at a totally different planet by now? Because, like, maybe if you didn't stop to do 10 errands before the thing you actually wanted to do, you wouldn't be in this situation. And, I mean, again, I know these are all stupid nitpicks, but, like I said, your first episode has got to be good. You cannot, like, this felt like it was at least, like, 30% filler. And your first episode, I know it's the third season, but your first episode can still shouldn't feel like that, in my opinion. I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot. I did enjoy this episode, I just expected more from it. Because I think the 2 Book of Boba Fett episodes that are about The Mandalorian are better than this.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It felt like a trailer more than
exactly.
episode.
It did. It really did. It felt like a 30-minute long trailer, but we've been waiting over 2 years for this, so 30 minutes went by like that.
Yeah.
You know, we needed more. In my opinion, this would have been a really good time to release 2 episodes at once. I know that, you know, I'm just being impatient, just being greedy, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not left with enough here. Like, if I were a casual fan, if I weren't like a huge Star Wars dork, I might not really follow up on this. You know what I mean?
Also, like, we didn't really get any new characters either. Like, we tried to, like, get the droid from the series, but that didn't work either.
Yeah, from the first season.
Yeah, so we didn't really, like, introduce any characters that we recognized besides Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I don't think we needed to bring back IG-11 at all. I don't think there's really anything more to be done with that character. I'm guessing they're going to have, like, a small, like, side plot line where he like gets restored. I don't care about that. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't. I think he died a really good death. And like, why do we need to bring him back? If you want an assassin droid on your team, go out and buy or make an assassin droid. If Anakin can build a protocol droid, you can build an assassin droid or buy one or something. And you know, I just like, I feel like in this season, in the trailers and things like that, it was advertised that this season would go big. And I think that's where the plot line, like with the recapture of Mandalore is going. You know, like, we started this show on such a small scale. It's just Mando doing bounty missions. And now the plot is like, we're going to reclaim this whole planet. I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's not go back to this small stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's focus on how we're going to rebuild the planet, not on, hey, can we get this droid working?
Yeah.
Like, I get you're going to have, you know, side plots and things like that. But it just feels so distracted to me.
Like, technically in the cult, the Mandalorian can do anything. Like, he can, like, lead an army, and technically, and just go to the planet and get the water, or get whatever scripture you're gonna capture.
Yeah, like, if I were Din, I would honestly just ditch this group of Mandalorians. I'd go over to Bo-Katan's group and be like, look, if you guys need the sword to get anything done, like, here's the sword.
He offered it to her, too.
Oh, yeah, he did, and that's another thing about the superstition, is you can't accept it. You have to, like, win it in battle.
And he did surrender. He said surrender, and they just...
A win is a win. And, I mean, I know that that's, like, forbidden or whatever, but I'm just like, Din, if you care anything about, like, reclaiming Mandalore, just do it yourself.
Yeah.
You don't even need Bo-Katan. Like, you can just take her people and be like, hey, I've got the sword, so let's go do this thing. Yeah. And then doesn't Bo-Katan kind of have to listen to at that point? So, like, there's literally all these other groups of Mandalorians that aren't crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of funny. Bo-Katan, I think, would actually be good for the crazy Mandalorian cult, because she's got some stupid beliefs. And I guess technically they all do. And it's fiction. If you guys want to come for me for saying her beliefs are stupid, I don't care. It's not real. But
your opinions are trash.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, we need to be, like, moving past these smaller things, like getting IG-11 working, you know, cut out these pirate chases.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not saying that this season has no place for pirates or smaller things of that nature. I'm just saying keep the plot around the big stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't make it feel like it's 50-50.
At least in the first episode.
Especially in the first episode.
You can have it, like, later on. But
yeah.
In the first episode, it's mainly about the big things.
Exactly.
People, like, interested in what the story's going to be. And if you just have pirates going around trying to kill our Mandalorian,
it just feels like stuff I've seen a million times, especially in the Clone Wars, where there's a lot of pirates. I don't think you've seen most of the pirate episodes, but there's a lot of pirate episodes. And I love me some pirates, but, like, again, just not what I'm here to see. It just felt distracted. So we're talking a little bit about this. If I was writing this is what I, like, this is the direction I would want it to go in. I think we need to bring Luke back. I know people are going to be like, oh, no, I don't want to see CGI Luke ever again. And, you know, I'm sorry, Mark Hamill's still, like, 70, so he can't do it. I mean, I'd be fine forgetting names. Played Bucky, Sebastian Stan. I think he'd make a great Luke. A lot of people have said he'd make a great Luke, and they've done, like, the edits, and it looks really good, so bring him back. I would love a scene where Obi-Wan or Anakin or both come to Luke's Force Ghosts and be like, hey, there's a lot going on Mandalorian, a lot of stuff that was unresolved from the Clone Wars. I think it's, you know, the duty of the Jedi to still make sure that Mandalore is, you know, reclaimed. Not that they would own it after that, but, you know, to bring it back to its rightful owners. And that would be a great continuation of both this show and the Clone Wars, and also just bring in characters that you know audiences are going to love.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that it's not going to happen. I can guarantee the things that we've said, that I just said, are not going to happen. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's the only way this show could have been good. I'm just saying, why would you not tie in plot lines where you can? And just really bring as many things wrapped up really nicely with a bow on top. Yeah. You know, why would you not do that if you so easily can?
Yeah, like, if I saw a Anakin Force Ghost in this episode, just randomly out of the blue, I'd be like, oh my god!
So many people want to see that. Like, that's one of the things that a lot of people are really looking forward to with the Ahsoka show, is Hayden Christensen has been confirmed to come back for that. And I'm like, guys, like, while you've got him on contract, let's bring him in some other stuff, too.
Yeah.
Like, and Ewan McGregor as well. People never get tired of them, dude. Yeah. Like, you could literally have them in, like, every single show, and I'd be there for it every single time.
That's what we want Kenobi.
Yeah, so, I guess we've talked pretty much about everything at this point, and we're only at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure if I want to try to do ratings for each episode or wait until the season's over. But if I had to give this episode a score, just not sure if we're going to stick with weekly scores or not, I think for this one it would be about a 68. I think, like, it's got good stuff. It's majority good, but you got a lot of that filler in there too, and it just feels a little distracted. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I would probably say around yours, but maybe like 66, maybe 70s.
Yeah.
Something around there.
And again, I know this sounds bad. I know a lot of my scores are like leaning a little bit towards the negative side, but I just have very high expectations for this. I was really thinking that this episode was going to blow me away, and it just kind of... It's just kind of meh.
Like, if Mando went to the place to, like, get his stuff that he needed, I feel like my score would be a lot.
Yeah, I have to agree, because this reminds me a lot of the episodes in Season 2, where Mando would constantly just be needing to get from place to place, and that's all the plot was. Like, he would, like, need to go somewhere, but this episode is actually about him getting stuck somewhere else, and I really get the feeling that we're going to start out next episode with, like, we're stuck somewhere else, even though we need to get to Mandalore, and then we have to waste 2 episodes at most on some random planet where nothing really happens. And I don't know how many episodes we're working with for this season. I'm assuming it's 8 to 10, and that's not a lot, you know? I mean, like, even if the runtimes are a little bit longer, which I don't think they're going to be, I feel like they're all probably going to be shorter, which would be fine if we were keeping it focused. Like, a 35-minute episode is still a good amount of time, you know? You can tell a good story in 35 minutes, or at least a good episode of a story, just keep it focused. It's really all I'm saying. So I guess that's about it. In short, I'm not unhappy. I'm just a little concerned. And for next week, I'm just going to have my expectations a little lower.
Yeah. Low.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
I just don't like the idea of having, like, something that is, like, would be really, really cool, but, like, leaving it in the very end, because you know people are interested in that.
Right,
so just, like, extending this amount of interest in people.
Yeah, like, you're kind of just baiting them. Like, you're just baiting them for 8
Yeah.
weeks to get that subscription money.
Yeah. It's just like, why?
Yeah.
I hate it. Okay. Yeah, that's all. That's all.
No, that's totally valid. All right, I think it's just about everything. All right, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Like I said, despite us complaining throughout most of it, it was an enjoyable enough experience. I just think they can do better, and hopefully they will. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. So I think our next video will be Iron Man 2, continuing on with the MCU, and we're going to try to keep doing The Mandalorian weekly. So if I do post our schedule, just know that the Mandalorian episodes will still be done weekly outside of that, but we also have a lot of movies that we need to get done as well in both the MCU and Star Wars. So stay tuned for that. I guess I'll try one more time to end this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, really. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we will see you guys at the next one.
Peace!